You're a summoner? That's the weakest class in the world. The moment Lin Xiao awakened his class, everyone laughed at him. His rival called him trash. No team wanted him. No one believed he could clear a dungeon. Even a normal combat class was considered better than becoming a summoner. But they had no idea. Lin Xiao had awakened a unique S-tier talent. A talent so powerful that nobody else in the world could ever obtain it. Every single day, he gains a brand new S-rank talent. His first summon was just a tiny skeleton. Weak, pathetic, worthless. But after receiving an S-rank talent, it evolved into a terrifying Death Knight. A monster capable of slaughtering entire armies. Then his slime gained the power of endless evolution through devouring. His goblin became a master of legendary weapons. And that was only the beginning. While other people struggled to make one summon stronger, Lin Xiao gave countless S-rank talents to all of his summons. Every day they evolved. Every day they grew stronger. Every day they became more terrifying. Geniuses, prodigies, heroes, none of them could even defeat his weakest summon. Then the abyss descended upon the world. Demon gods appeared. Ancient monsters awakened. Even the gods themselves looked down upon humanity. But when humanity stood on the edge of extinction, one man stepped forward. Behind him stood an army powerful enough to shake heaven and earth. An army of death knights, ancient beasts, divine creatures, and beings powerful enough to rival gods. The world finally realized one terrifying truth. The strongest army was never an army. The strongest kingdom was never a kingdom. It was one summoner, and his summons. This is the story of Lin Xiao, the summoner who turned the weakest class into the strongest existence in the world. Week 1 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gained there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 335. Congratulations. You have reached level 57. As they advanced, the monsters became much stronger than Lin Xiao had anticipated. But the experience and level rewards were also quite generous. In just 3 days, they pushed the floor to 750 stories. But he felt that the last 50 floors were getting increasingly difficult. And with only 4 days left, he wasn't sure if he could reach them. The further down you go, the more difficult it becomes. We need to hurry. Lin Xiao ate the food she had brought in, muttering to herself. They underestimated the special dungeon of the temple. Oh, right, I also have an evil dragon. If it can listen to me, our speed of advance will definitely increase dramatically. Lin Xiao thought of Evil Dragon's cool skill, Evil Dragon Summoning. With Evil Dragon's help, the progress will be much faster, but unfortunately, he is rebellious and doesn't listen to me at all. After a short rest, Lin Xiao began the challenge of the 721st floor, and Death God Knight and the others once again joined the battle and began to kill enemies. At that moment, Xiao Jing emitted a bright light, and a spirit coffin slowly rose from the ground. The spirit coffin slowly opened, and a woman stepped out. His gaze was piercing, his hair was cold, and he exuded an aura that kept people at bay. Lin Xiao was taken aback when she saw the woman suddenly appear. The Ice and Snow Queen? That's right. It's Ice and Snow Queen in dungeon at Ice Snow Queen's palace. Xiao Jing, you did it. You actually did it. Lin Xiao excitedly picked Xiao Jing up. Ice and Snow Queen was puzzled. She looked around and soon spotted a familiar figure. Were you a human from that time? The Ice and Snow Queen was puzzled. If she remembered correctly, she should be dead. But now, it's as if he's been resurrected. Oh? You still retain your previous memories. Lin Xiao was surprised. You resurrected me? You possess resurrection magic? How could a weak human like you possibly have such powerful abilities? Ice and Snow Queen was surprised, but more than that, she was skeptical. Lin Xiao smiled faintly. It's just a resurrection spell. What's so difficult about that? Ice and Snow Queen, a holy coffin. Level 60. Quality epic. Race unknown. Belongs to Lin Xiao, Xiao Jing. Skills: Ice Waterfall, Divine Art, Blizzard, Frosty Wind. Lin Xiao saw Ice and Snow Queen's basic information. Their original skill levels were retained, but their attributes had decreased significantly, and a new affiliation item had been added to the information panel. That's all. Upon hearing Lin Xiao's words, the Ice and Snow Queen's originally cold expression turned somewhat surprised. She wanted to refute the other party's ridiculous ignorance, but her current state prevented her from uttering a single rebuttal. Because she has truly come back to life. Could it be that he truly possesses the divine art of resurrection? Moreover, in his hands, the resurrection magic was just a trivial ability. The Ice and Snow Queen fell into deep thought. Seeing her expression, Lin Xiao realized she must have been intimidated. It's not really a lie because Xiao Jing really did fuse the resurrection skill. There are no major restrictions on the time of death. Now that I've resurrected you, let's see if your strength has weakened. The enemy over there is yours to deal with. How about it? Lin Xiao pointed in the direction of Spider Prince's battle, signaling Ice and Snow Queen to go and provide support. The Ice and Snow Queen looked over, her cold expression softening once more. The battle between Death God Knight and the others had left her stunned for a few seconds before she came to her senses. If he remembered correctly, this human before him didn't seem particularly strong. It had taken him quite a while to defeat him back then, but now, are these all his summoned beasts? It has grown to this point. Shocked, she slowly raised her arm, and suddenly a crack appeared in the starry sky. Then, a large amount of icefall fell from the sky, washing over the enemy in front of her. A simple stroke and you get a forbidden curse. Not bad, but still a bit lacking compared to a Snow Maiden doll, Lin Xiao commented. Hearing this, Ice and Snow Queen immediately felt displeased. He was the successor of the Ice God, and in terms of ice magic proficiency, who could compare to her? Now she was even inferior to one of his ice-summoned beasts. His gaze swept toward another battlefield, and his indifferent face showed surprise once again. She witnessed the terrifying frost power displayed by Snow Maiden doll, a power level far exceeding her own. How is this possible? The Ice and Snow Queen was stunned. She couldn't believe that someone was more skilled in the field of ice than she was, and by more than one level. Lin Xiao noticed that Ice and Snow Queen were very satisfied with their reaction. She was a queen inherently aloof, and even after she resurrected him, she remained so. Naturally, her arrogance needed to be curbed, and Snow Maiden doll was the best way to do so. After all, Snow Maiden doll is an ice-type ability with a mythical level talent and 3 dazzling level talents. How could Ice and Snow Queen possibly compare? Lin Xiao approached Ice and Snow Queen with satisfaction, saying, "My summoned beast is pretty good, isn't it?" The Ice and Snow Queen stared at Snow Maiden Doll for a long time before finally looking away and saying in a calm voice, "I underestimated you. I didn't expect you to have such great potential. Perhaps the resurrection magic is really nothing to you." She was truly convinced. "Work hard, and I'll make you stronger too," Lin Xiao said. With her icy blue eyes fixed on Lin Xiao, the Ice and Snow Queen nodded. "I believe you." After regaining her composure, she threw herself back into the battle. Instead of piloting the ancient mechanical ox, Lin Xiao began to examine Xiao Jing's skills. The Coffin of Resurrection. After a corpse is placed in the coffin, it can be resurrected if certain conditions are met. 1/5. The Holy Coffin, Ice and Snow Queen. The original Spirit Coffin skill has been changed to the Resurrection Coffin, which has the ability to bring the dead back to life, but only under certain conditions. What is this specific condition? Is it fixed? Lin Xiao asked. Xiao Jing's body flickered a few times, indicating that she didn't know either, as the conditions required for resurrection differed depending on the individual being resurrected. In that case, Lin Xiao stroked her chin. Could someone who has been dead for a long time be resurrected? Xiao Jing gave an affirmative answer. Afterwards, Lin Xiao and Xiao Jing discussed the skill. Putting a corpse into a coffin can revive the dead, but the corpse must remain relatively intact, otherwise it cannot be revived. Moreover, the conditions for resurrection are different for each person, and the time for resurrection is also different. However, the number of sacred coffins is limited to only 5. The only advantage is that resurrection through the holy coffin is not a true death. One can come back to life after a certain period of time. There are still 4 spots available. We'll choose them later. Lin Xiao wasn't in a hurry about this. He had enough combat strength right now, and he could handle the opponent as long as they weren't too outrageous. Chapter 336. Holy Temple Special Instance, 760th floor. This floor is only inhabited by monsters. The opponent was incredibly powerful, and their level had reached 70. We've already encountered level 70 monsters before even reaching floor 800. The difficulty ahead is unimaginable. Lin Xiao frowned. Level 70 monsters are not impossible to deal with, they just require more time. If they come in large groups later, the difficulty will not just double. They may be difficult to deal with, but they have a lot of experience. Lin Xiao looked at his rapidly increasing experience bar, and a satisfied expression appeared on his face. Once you clear this level, you'll probably be able to advance to the next level. It feels pretty fast to advance 1 level every 10 floors. Roar! The starry mist, its entire body covered in black substance, let out a roar. Then, stars fell from the sky, turning into meteors that crashed down on Death Knight and the others. Flower Fairy acted swiftly, scattering countless seeds across the earth. The vines grew wildly, producing hundreds of thick tendrils in a short time, attempting to stop the meteors falling from the sky. This is a plant-based summoned beast that Lin Xiao cultivated not long ago. With the price of blood talent, she can save a lot of time, and in this high-intensity environment, her level is also increasing rapidly. The only thing lacking is good talent. Currently, Flower Fairy only has 1 SSS talent, Flower C. It can double the number of plants you summon, which is a very useful skill. Growing slowly, the falling stars were quickly crushed into dust, and the next second, the icy power of Snow Maiden Doll and Ice and Snow Queen immediately covered them. It instantly froze them into ice balls, which were then blasted apart by slime. You are now to be judged, creature. The Goblin Emperor summoned the purple heaven tribulation divine thunder and blasted it towards the monster before him. The lightning extinguished the attack, causing the opponent to let out cries of agony. Death God Knight then launched an attack, attempting to eliminate his opponent. While Lin Xiao was struggling in the Holy Temple Special Instance, a fierce battle was also taking place in the God's Assembly Hall. Flames rose and burned everything around them. Hey, why are you so angry? He's not dead, is he? And didn't I already tell you the result? Why are you still so angry? Goddess of Fate did not retaliate, but simply dodged the attacks launched by the God of Fire. Vulcan offered no response, only launching relentless attacks, each burst of flame stronger than the last. Calm down, calm down. Your life flame isn't on you right now, so you can't beat me. Why get so angry over a traitor? Goddess of Fate blocked the incoming flames and said with a grin. The Vulcan paused, his face growing even angrier. You deliberately tricked me out of my natal flame so that I couldn't do anything to you, didn't you? No, even if you have your own natal flame, you're no match for me. Don't you know that? You! The flames rose once more with the wrath of the fire god. She was absolutely right. I am no match for her. I want to bring him back. The Vulcan extinguished his flames and turned to leave. No, I said that since he followed the angels 3 times and was able to return, I'll let him come back. It doesn't count if you bring him back, Goddess of Fate said with a smile. What if I insist? The Vulcan's imposing manner showed no sign of yielding. Hee, you can try it. I'm not stopping you. Vulcan clenched his fist, staring into the eyes of Goddess of Fate, and said in a deep voice, the temple is not something you can call the shots. But now I'm the one who calls the shots. The flames surged again, but this time they quickly subsided, and the God of Fire asked in a deep voice, Ibosi, where are you now? Have no idea. You wouldn't know? I don't care about the traitor's whereabouts. You, humph. Vulcan didn't waste any more words and turned to leave. He then left the territory where the temple was located and went out to search for Ibosi. God of Light has gone. She still has such a bad temper, making such a mess of my place. Next time she comes, I'll have to settle the score with her. Goddess of Fate begins to restore this place to its original state. A moment later, a deep voice echoed through the starry sky. Fate, haven't you gone too far? Traitors deserve to be punished. I've already been very lenient with her. Otherwise, the angel would have killed her long ago. Goddess of Fate sat in a chair, took out a compass and placed it on the table, then tilted the chair back and looked up at the starry sky. Star God, would you like to come down and sit for a while? It seems like it's been a long time since we last met. No, it's just that your commotion startled me, so I came to check. Since there's nothing else, I'll be leaving now. The voice of the star god gradually faded away. Really? That's a pity. I was thinking of telling you how to get promoted. Call out. A beam of starlight entered, and a man with a translucent body, imbued with starlight, appeared in the chair. It's all right to delay for a moment. So, what's the method for promotion? A gentle breeze blew by, and a little boy dressed in cloth clothes and wearing a hood appeared in the seat. He crossed his arms in front of his chest, leaned back in the chair, raised his head, and put his legs crossed on the table. Drews, it's one thing to hide in the shadows and spy without offering any help, but you rush over the moment there's something to gain. That's not very kind of you. I was at least protecting you from the shadows, and you didn't even come. Now that everything's over, what are you doing here? Well, I am the wind god and she is the fire god. My presence here would only have the effect of fanning the flames, so I might as well not come. Star god, that's a really lame joke. Now, of course, fate has brought me here. The situation is the same as yours, except that unlike you, I didn't shamelessly stay. I was invited here, the wind god said calmly. Fate has invited more than just you. A crisp sound of growth rang out, and the chair suddenly sprouted tender buds, which then grew into branches, blossomed and bore fruit. A woman appeared in the flower bud. You're involved too? Shouldn't we be improving our strength first? You should just slowly work your way up from the bottom to the middle, instead of relying on the power of fate. The wind god frowned upon seeing the grass goddess appear, quite curious about her arrival. Star god, that makes sense now. Hee hee. Laughter erupted, and everyone immediately fell silent, their gazes fixed on goddess of fate. Everyone has a share. Wherever the pointer of fate lands, I'll call them over. I don't care about these trivial matters. After smoothing things over, goddess of fate got straight to the point. The limitations of the great universe are gradually shrinking. I have found the locations of the tree god, the mountain god, and the earth god. I will kill them and then integrate the god seats. The grass god can then become the god of nature and may even have the opportunity to gain authority. The grass god's eyes lit up, and he excitedly exclaimed, "Really? How could she not be excited to be promoted directly from a lower position to a higher one? Of course, after you finish helping the grass god, it will be your turn. If you can't finish, it only proves that your strength is not enough, and then your promotion will be cancelled." Chapter 337. Congratulations! You have reached level 59. Mission complete. Gain access to the 4th level of the temple. 2 notification sounds rang in Lin Xiao's ears, and he quickly shouted to stop, preventing the next wave of monsters from appearing. We made it through in the last hour. Those 800 floors are simply inhuman. Lin Xiao sat on the bed provided by the Holy Temple Special Instance. Lucky Spirit Snow Maiden Doll and the other summoned beasts collapsed to the ground, exhausted. Spider Prince, Ancient Mechanical Ox, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, and Flower Fairy returned to the summoning space after their deaths. The Ice and Snow Queen did the same, but it returned to the Holy Coffin, marking its 5th return, demonstrating the ferocity of its enemy. Thank you for your hard work. Go back and get some rest. After a short rest, Lin Xiao recalled Snow Maiden Doll and the others to the summoning space, letting them rest inside, while he himself exited dungeon. After returning to temple dormitory, Lin Xiao did not go to see Remy, but instead rested for a day. Even though he is a summoner and doesn't need to personally participate in the battle, such an intense battle still consumes a tremendous amount of spirit power. The next day, a Golden Legend talent triggered, gaining S-rank talent, Radiant Sunshine. Enhancing the power of the plant-type summoned beast is perfect for Flower Fairy. Lin Xiao assigned the newly acquired talent to Flower Fairy, who was resting. At the same time, upgrade the talent to SSS level Sunlight. The ability to summon the sun to assist in combat further enhances Flower Fairy's combat capabilities. I picked up my phone and glanced at it. The trending topic was Lin Yao's 3rd song. This girl is incredibly fiery. Lin Xiao sighed, then left the room and went to the 4th floor of the temple. As soon as I knocked on the door, I heard the sound of running rapidly coming from inside. It seemed she had recovered well and could already run. Wow, you're only arriving now? I've already recovered. Hurry up and give me back the holy blessing potion. I need to continue my research, Remy urged. Lin Xiao walked in, rolled her eyes at her and said, "What do you mean returning it to you? This was originally mine. Before we begin the research, I have one more favor to ask of you." "What is it?" "As long as you give me the holy blessing potion to continue my research, anything is negotiable." "It's Human Demon's secret elixir." "Human Demon's secret elixir?" Remy's eyes lit up, and she immediately forgot about the holy blessing potion, quickly asking, "Are you also going to give me this secret medicine to study? That must be it, right? Right?" "Yes." Lin Xiao nodded. He had come to see her naturally to discuss the matter of refining the secret medicine. Alas! Remy jumped up excitedly, then quickly moved closer to Lin Xiao and urged, "Give it to me right away." Seeing Remy's overly enthusiastic attitude, Lin Xiao quickly pushed him away, then pressed him into a chair and said, "Don't rush. Listen to me first. Here's the thing. I need you to prepare the Human Demon's secret elixir. I'll prepare the materials for you." Remy nodded like a chick pecking at rice. "And then, I have already obtained one of the materials, and I know where the third material is. The main problem is the second material. I have no clue about it, but I have some leads that you need to confirm." As she spoke, Lin Xiao took out the formula for the Human Demon's secret elixir and handed it to Remy. Remy treasured it like a precious gem, her eyes gleaming with excitement. This time, Lin Xiao didn't disturb her, waiting for her excitement to subside. Remy received a lot of formulas and it took her more than 10 minutes to calm down. He looked up and asked, "The problem of refining the secret medicine shouldn't be too big. The materials have all been provided, but they are a bit hard to find and difficult to gather together." Lin Xiao took out the filthy blood. "I've already obtained the first material, but the main problem is the second one. I don't know where to find it." Remy took the tainted blood, held it up to the light bulb a few times, and nodded. "It's a good thing." She then looked at the second material. "Human demon blood? I don't know what a human demon is, but I can help you look into it. Before you investigate, could you try to analyze whether this blood is from a human or a demon?" Lin Xiao took out the blood she had collected at Ice Snow Queen's palace. Because of Ice and Snow Queen's unique status, her blood might be useful. Since Lin Xiao hadn't obtained the secret medicine recipe at the time, he felt it might be useful, so he collected it. "Okay, wait for me a moment. I'll be right back." Remy took the sample into her lab and began the analysis. Lin Xiao aimlessly wandered around Remy's room. Though she called it a wandering, there wasn't much room to move around in, as it was filled with books, instruments, and strangely prepared potions. Speed booster, strength booster, shapeshifter, cleansing agent, fire-breathing agent. You can see all sorts of bizarre and unimaginable things here. "I really admire this guy. He can stay here patiently," Lin Xiao remarked. Soon, Remy came out of the lab excitedly saying, "This should be the blood of a demon, but there's not enough of it. It's not enough to mix the keys." "Really?" Lin Xiao was equally surprised, not expecting that Ice and Snow Queen's blood was one of the ingredients. This meant that only one ingredient remained to concoct the Human Demon's secret elixir. "Don't worry about the quantity. There's plenty," Lin Xiao said. "With Ice and Snow Queen all in my possession, how much blood I want is just a matter of a word." "That's good." The most difficult thing now is the equilibrium flower seed. This stuff is in the Abyss Great Canyon. If you want to get it, you have to go into the abyss, but that's too dangerous. I don't recommend you do it. The materials were quickly collected, and Remy was naturally very excited. But considering that the last material was located in the abyss, she thought it was too dangerous and not worth it. I can try using other materials to create a combination. Perhaps I can find the right materials, Remy said. Don't worry, I will retrieve it, Lin Xiao said. You just need to be confident that you can manufacture the human demon's secret elixir. Knowing the location of the equilibrium flower seed and having the netherworld guidance in hand, finding its location is extremely easy. The only thing to watch out for are the creatures from the abyss. Wait until you reach level 60 and complete class awakening before going. This is Lin Xiao's plan. He is currently level 59, just one experience point away from level 60. Once you reach level 59 and have enough experience, you can unlock the class awakening quest, which will happen very soon. Then while you're at it, help me find some materials there and bring them back. Remy didn't argue with Lin Xiao about whether it was dangerous or not, and directly asked him for help. Sure, but only within Abyss Great Canyon. Also, you need to give me the specific location of the materials. You know what a place like the Abyss is. Lin Xiao didn't refuse. It was on her way. Okay, I'll write it down for you. Chapter 338. Remy didn't stand on ceremony with Lin Xiao, filling a 2-meter-long sheet of paper before handing over the materials list to Lin Xiao with satisfaction. So you're sending me to Abyss Great Canyon to buy supplies, right? Lin Xiao stared at the 2-meter-long list of materials and was speechless. Oh, this is just something you did on the side. Since you rarely go, I'll definitely write down all the materials you need. Opportunities like this don't come around often. Remy said with a smile. All right, I'll do my best. Lin Xiao did not refuse and put away the materials list. He plans to continue leveling up. He's not far from level 60. Oh, you're leaving already? Where's the stuff? Remy saw Lin Xiao about to leave and quickly called out to him. What is that? That's it. That's the one. Remy kept hinting. Lin Xiao rolled her eyes at her, naturally understanding what she meant, and then took out the holy resurrection potion and tossed it over. If you continue to study like you did before, there won't be a next time. Whoa, Remy took the potion and cheered. Don't worry, it won't happen. You go ahead and get busy. I'll go do my research now. Goodbye. After saying that, he ignored Lin Xiao and quickly returned to his room to do his research. Lin Xiao shook his head speechlessly and returned to the 3rd floor of the temple. He plans to enter the Tower of Heaven and level up to 61st. Although he has a lot of experience from the Holy Temple Special Instance, it is too difficult, so he will prioritize the Tower of Heaven. Just as Lin Xiao was about to enter the Tower of Heaven, a phone call came in. He was a stranger, Yan Anning. I met her when we teamed up to run Ice Dragon's Lair a dungeon last time. After that, she invited me to run dungeon with her after I reached level 60. She's already completed class awakening. It can't be that fast, right? Lin Xiao answered the phone with a puzzled look. He was demoted last time he was demoted, so logically he shouldn't be able to get back up so quickly. After all, he had only just reached level 59, and he had only entered high-difficulty dungeons. It was impossible for her to level up faster than him. Lin Xiao, have you reached level 60 yet? Don't hold me back when you do. Yan Anning's voice came from the other end of the phone. She sounded to be in a good mood. Not yet? You're already level 60. That's fast. Lin Xiao was somewhat surprised. From her tone, it was clear that she had already reached level 60. Yan Anning, no, but I've already reached the maximum experience level and am preparing to start class awakening. I called specifically to let you know that you should hurry up. So fast? I remember you were demoted before. How come you've been promoted back so quickly? Lin Xiao was surprised because he knew how difficult the later upgrades would be. Of course. Who do you think I am? Then recommend a place where you download Dungeon to me. I can't miss it. Okay. I won't tease you anymore. I had someone remove the negative effects of the level drop, and my level gradually returned to normal. Otherwise, I wouldn't have leveled up so quickly. Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao suddenly realized what was happening. No wonder I leveled up so quickly. It turns out they removed the negative effects of losing levels. It must have cost a lot of money, since the consequences of losing a level aren't something that can be easily eliminated. Yan Anning, so I'm calling you this time to tell you about my current situation. Don't fall too far behind. If it takes too long, I might have to find someone else. Lin Xiao glanced at her current level and smiled faintly. Don't worry, I won't fall too far behind. After chatting for a few more minutes, Yan Anning hung up the phone and went to prepare for class awakening. I was worried before that after I finished class awakening, I would have to wait for her. But now it seems that I don't need to. This outcome is undoubtedly the best. I glanced at Death God Knight and the others. They had just gone through a great battle and were still resting. It's not impossible to put them into battle immediately, but their condition might not be as good as before. Let's check the situation at the Tower of Heaven first. Lin Xiao possesses half the access to Tower of Heaven, allowing her to enter at will. He quickly began to check the levels of the monsters in Tower of Heaven and the amount of experience they gained. Floor 60. Golden Archer. Boss. Level 60. Hidden Map. Skyfall Arrows. Materials. Fine Steel. Golden Arrows. Experience. 3 million. Floor 65. Demonic Earth Dragon. Boss. Level 65. Hidden Map. None. Materials. Earth Dragon Scales. Pseudo Dragon Blood. Weapon. Earth Dragon Sword. Experience. 3.5 million. 70th floor. We can start from the 60th floor and slowly move upwards. But could we spread Death God Knight and the others out to different floors? Lin Xiao suddenly thought of a way to quickly gain experience. Scatter the summoned beasts to fight bosses on different levels of Tower of Heaven. This will allow you to gain experience much faster. After all, with Death God Knight's current strength, dealing with a level 60 boss would be a piece of cake. Wow, you have great potential. You're almost level 60. You're definitely someone I've chosen. So, have you thought it over? Choose me. You won't regret it. Celia appeared beside Lin Xiao and was surprised to see that he was about to reach level 60. She then began to persuade him to choose his own trial. Let me tell you, you're not going to choose the Goddess of Fate test, are you? Let me tell you, she's a fraud. She's just here to use you to complete her final promotion. Seeing that Lin Xiao remained unmoved, Celia continued. Lin Xiao glanced at her and said, "You keep saying she used me to achieve her own advancement. How did she use me? Did she just take away my power after I completed class awakening?" Upon hearing that Lin Xiao had come to talk to her about this, Celia's eyes lit up, and she quickly said, "I knew you cared about this, so I came to tell you about it. As you know, she's now a High God Ming, and it's extremely difficult for her to advance further. Moreover, her fate authority isn't enough, so she needs the help of others. Lin Xiao, fate authority? Don't you know? Celia interjected. To reach godhood, besides needing a divine status, you also need a god's seat, and most importantly, authority. Obtaining a divine status allows one to become a god, but only at the lower level. After cultivating a god seat, one has the opportunity to advance to the middle level and high god. To break through to the top, one needs corresponding authority, but Goddess of Fate's authority is simply insufficient, so it needs the help of others. You're so outstanding, she'll definitely lead you down the path of destiny, and then fulfill her own desires. Don't let her always smiling face fool you. She's very shrewd. Lin Xiao stroked his chin, processing Celia's words, and after a moment asked, "How did you know all this?" Chapter 339. That's definitely true. She's the most cunning one. I know that very well, and she's very ambitious, wanting to achieve Supreme Being. You know Supreme Being, right? It's something even stronger than High God. Lin Xiao looked at Celia with an expression that said, "You think I would know? How could someone who hasn't even reached the God level possibly know about things further back in time? To become Supreme Being, you must master a power. If you follow the path of destiny and reach godhood in the future, you will become God of Destiny. But if Goddess of Fate wants to make you Supreme Being, then it must eliminate you or devour your power. Do you understand? Moreover, your path will be extremely difficult, because the Goddess of Fate holds most of the power over destiny and the God seat. It will be even more impossible for you to obtain authority. So your future path is dead. A human being with such outstanding talent as you shouldn't continue down a dead end, or you won't be able to turn back. Listen to me. Choose me, and I guarantee my path will never be blocked." Celia tried her best to persuade Lin Xiao to choose her for the trial. Lin Xiao ignored the chattering fellow and filtered out the useful information. He didn't know if God of Fun was plotting against him, because he hadn't even received a glance from her. But it's also possible that you haven't reached the required level, and perhaps at the last moment, a glance will be cast your way, marking the beginning of your trial by fate. Of course, this is just my own speculation and hasn't happened yet, so it's impossible to completely believe Celia's words alone. You made me choose your trial to become the God of Thieves, but what about you? Has your power also vanished? Or? Lin Zhao's expression changed, and she looked at her sharply. You also have a plan to gain power from me. Don't forget, what kind of god are you? Even if you take my power from me, I won't know. He was well aware of Celia's power from the memory fragments he saw at the Tower of Heaven. If he can steal even a god's divine status, what else can't he steal? Ah, how could that be? I would never do such a thing. Although I am the God of Thieves, I am the righteous God of Thieves. I would never, ever do such a thing. Celia looked at Lin Xiao with utmost sincerity and spoke in an extremely earnest tone. Lin Xiao remained unmoved and continued to ask, "Fine. Even if what you're saying is true, what about you?" "Me?" Celia blinked. "I just lay down. You don't need to worry about godhood. I'll give it to you. As for God's seat, I'll teach you how to cultivate it. As for authority..." Celia scratched her head. "Actually, I don't have it either. You'll have to rely on yourself." "So, what if I get promoted to Supreme Being?" Lin Xiao continued to press. "Huh? Supreme Being? You've already thought that far ahead?" That's not something just anyone can achieve. Celia was surprised, but still said, then I'll definitely give you my power. Anyway, I'm already laid up, so you have to support me. I'll cultivate a supreme being, and I feel a great sense of accomplishment just thinking about it. She started to daydream too. Lin Xiao didn't entirely believe her, saying, you'd really be willing to give up your power? Becoming High God Ming must have taken a lot of your energy and involved a lot of life and death situations. You'd really give up your power? Sigh, Celia sighed. I definitely wouldn't have done it before, but after being locked up here for so long, I've gotten used to lying down and don't want to go out and fight anymore. The great universe is too chaotic and too dangerous. Wars are happening everywhere, and gods fall and new gods are born every day. Is it because there are no restrictions? Lin Xiao interjected. Huh? You actually know that? Celia was surprised. Yes. It's because there are no restrictions that even cats and dogs can become gods. What does it matter to others if someone becomes a god? Does becoming a god take away the power of the great universe and cause others to have less power? Lin Xiao asked casually. Wars are fought over resources. Not really. The great universe is vast enough to accommodate billions of gods. It's mainly for authority. To become a supreme being, you need divinity, a god's seat, and authority. The hardest thing to obtain is authority. I don't have authority, so I'm not very clear about what conditions are required. They all seem to be different. To gain authority and transcend to achieve the status of supreme being requires the unification of power. As I just told you, Goddess of Fate wants you to follow her path, and then, after you've grown strong enough, she'll reap the rewards of your destiny and perfect her authority. This is the slowest way. The fastest way is to seize it from others through war. For example, in the great universe there are many gods like cat gods and dog gods, and you are a beast god. Their existence divides your authority, even though they have not gained authority. If you want to achieve supreme being, you need to continuously improve the authority you acquire. The fastest way is to kill the cat god and the dog god, obtain their power, and then the cat god and the dog god will no longer appear. Of course, this is not absolute because the great universe has loosened the restrictions. Even if you take back the power of the cat god and the dog god, over time such gods will still appear. After all, the universe is so vast, there will always be a few exceptionally talented individuals, and it is precisely for this reason that the great universe is constantly at war. Celia talked a lot in one go, and Lin Xiao gained a completely new understanding of the great universe. Becoming a god requires more than just being weak. It also means being constantly targeted and coveted by others. So, even the god of war knew these things, which is why he didn't reach godhood. Lin Xiao thought of Nan Wanxing, who was extremely powerful and certainly had the potential to become a god. But he did not. Is it because of worry? Is it worry about myself? Or about this place? Lin Xiao leans more towards the latter. So, after all this fighting, has any god emerged to achieve great things? Lin Xiao asked curiously. Yes, Celia said with certainty. Really? Lin Xiao asked casually, but she didn't expect there to actually be one. There is only one, and his strength is frightening. Celia's expression also became more serious. Given the existence of Zhi Gao, the great universe is still fighting so fiercely. He is invincible in the universe. Who would dare to disobey him at his command? Celia hesitated for a moment before saying, actually, Half of the reason the great universe has become so chaotic is thanks to that person. Lin Xiao raised an eyebrow. Could this Zhigao be a supervillain? No, no, no. Celia was terrified by Lin Xiao's words and quickly shook her head. I've only heard about it, you shouldn't make judgments so easily. Chapter 340. That supreme being came from a remote area. After entering the great universe, he was discovered to possess spatial authority, which almost attracted the pursuit of all the gods in the great universe. But Supreme Being's strength is extraordinary. Even after being hunted by numerous gods, he still managed to escape and eventually hid somewhere, merging with authority. During this time, all the gods tried their best to find the man. Because it's not an ordinary authority, but a spatial authority, one of the elements of Supreme Being, and still in the hands of a young upstart, it naturally aroused the madness of countless people. He hid for 50 years, and when he reappeared, he was already High God Ming, having absorbed most of the power of authority. Then he launched a frenzied revenge, and none of those who had hunted him down back then escaped. In an instant, the great universe was stained with blood, and the gods were terrified of him. Even if they formed an alliance, they could not stop his frenzied revenge. Finally, it took 20 high gods working together to defeat him. But just 10 years later, when he reappeared as Supreme Being, he wiped out all the survivors who had slipped through the net back then, leaving no one behind. This is the story that has been passed down through the great universe about the Supreme Being. The great universe was already plagued by constant warfare. After years of war, several factions had vaguely formed. However, due to the sudden appearance of that Zhigao, almost most of these factions were wiped out, which brought the great universe back to its previous state, or even worse. But now, I wonder what it's like now, since that happened a long time ago. Celia tells the story of the great universe, the legend of Supreme Being. Although Lin Xiao had never met the other party, he could tell from Celia's description that the other party was exceptionally powerful. So, Celia returned to the original topic. You definitely made the right choice in choosing my trial. There's nothing wrong with taking a different path, and not many people will be competing with you for it. Celia's words did not affect Lin Xiao. He had his own plans, but there were still some things he wanted to confirm. Lin Xiao, if I inherit your power, I can steal anything too? Of course, as long as you can reach my level, no. With your talent, you can definitely reach my level. You can get whatever you want with ease. Wealth, treasures, women, none of them can escape your grasp. Isn't that amazing? Celia became smug. Lin Xiao, what about their profession? Can we steal it? Profession? Celia paused for a moment, then assured her. Of course you can. If you steal a professional's profession while fighting them, they'll be completely dumbfounded. Lin Xiao, after they steal it, they become unemployed? No, it can only last for a while. Can it only last for a short period of time? Lin Xiao sighed. It was the result she had expected. Why are you sighing? This is already amazing. Seeing Lin Xiao sigh, Celia panicked a little. That's really impressive. Lin Xiao nodded and summoned Death God Knight and Snow Maiden Doll, sending them into the Tower of Heaven to defeat the boss and gain experience. This operation is normally impossible, but Lin Xiao managed to exploit a small bug. Noticing Lin Xiao's perfunctory attitude, Celia felt like she had wasted all her time talking to him. If you don't choose my trial, believe me, I'll kick you out of the Tower of Heaven, Celia said angrily. Lin Xiao glanced at her and said, Oh, you have half the rights. It's impossible to kick yourself out. You Ugh. You're really making me so angry. Celia started complaining. Don't worry. Even if I complete Class Awakening, it doesn't mean I can't take your test, Lin Xiao said. Both in Yuankue and Sikong completed Class Awakening, yet they were still able to receive divine approval to enter the trial. But if you choose the trial of fate, you can't choose mine. Who said I was going to choose the trial of fate? Ah? Celia was taken aback. What she didn't know was that Goddess of Fate didn't show any contempt for Lin Xiao at all. Even if he wanted to participate in the trial, he wouldn't know where to begin. You stay quiet for a while. I'll rest first. Lin Xiao lay comfortably on the ground, glancing occasionally at her slowly increasing experience points. It must be said that Tower of Heaven is a great place to gain experience and train the combat instincts of summoned beasts. After the nine-tailed celestial fox and all the summoned beasts recovered, Lin Xiao immediately sent them to different levels of the Tower of Heaven for training. While Lin Xiao was diligently leveling up on the other side, Anning, are you ready? Don't worry, brother. I'm absolutely confident I'll pass this time. You don't need to worry about me. Yan Anning picked up her staff and said with a firm gaze. Yan Shua sighed and said, Actually, you don't need to be in such a hurry. You only recently recovered your level and haven't had a chance to rest. Your body won't be able to take it. Yes, Big Brother is right. Yan Ji also chimed in. Little sister, there's no need for you to be in such a hurry. Besides, there's no reason why that guy named Lin Xiao you're looking for would catch up with you. Big brother, second brother. Let me rest after I finish Class Awakening. Yan Anning rejected their suggestion and added, I feel that if I relax, he will catch up with me. It wouldn't be good if he ended up waiting for me. Anning, you're overthinking it, said the eldest brother, Yan Shua. Although this Lin Xiao is very talented, it's impossible for him to level up this quickly. Besides, he still has to complete Class Awakening, so it's even more impossible for him to catch up with you. Yan Ji, yes. Yan Anning ignored the two and immediately activated Class Awakening. Dungeon. Tower of Heaven, 79 floors. The boss on this floor is a level 73 Ice Flame Dragon. Lin Xiao didn't stay on the top floor to rest. Instead, she came directly here to fight alongside Death God Knight and the others. Nine-tailed Celestial Fox. Attack his right side and prevent him from escaping to the right. Goblin Emperor. Take your soldiers and block the left flank, blocking his retreat route. Don't let him run back to the Icefire Spring. Besides the formidable boss, this floor also features a special area, the Ice and Fire Spring. Whenever the Ice and Fire Dragon is injured or suffers a great loss of energy, it will retreat back to the spring to recover quickly before coming out to continue the battle. The opponent was able to continuously recover their energy, which led to Lin Xiao's side being caught in a fierce battle. I guarantee this lizard won't get back this time. Together with Goblin Soldier, Goblin Emperor unleashed Purple Heaven Tribulation Divine Thunder, creating a terrifying web of lightning that kept the Ice and Fire Dragons at bay. All right, one last blow. Finish him off. Death God Knight and Snow Maiden Doll joined forces. Just as the Ice and Fire Dragon was trying to escape, Slime threw out 3 forbidden curse spells, immediately trapping him in place. Successfully defeated the Ice and Fire Dragon, gaining 3 million experience points. Obtained Ice and Fire Dragon Staff, Legendary Weapon, *1, Ice and Fire Dragon Scales. Materials, *10, Dragon Claws. You are not gaining experience because you have not completed Class Awakening. Please complete class awakening.